Hi, good morning everybody. This is Brittany at Big Cat Rescue here in Tampa, Florida. It's pretty breezy on the lake today. Thought we would just check in with lots of the cats that we've been moving around recently. And start with Illithia in her favorite spot. Hi Lily. That is so ridiculous. Good morning Jane. Hi Daniel. Hi Deb. Hi Carrie Ann. This is Illithia Serval. Good morning Dawn. Hi Michelle. Make sure you guys share this please and tag each other. We just got started. Thank you Chris for sharing into groups. Good morning Betty. Hi Jen. Yes, happy Sunday Dawn. Good to be back. Hi Austin. Good morning Nancy. There's a lot of road noise in the background today, so sorry. Good morning Anne. Hi Reagan. Good morning Bella. So I figured we would just check in with all of the cats that we moved around the last week or the week prior. A lot has happened in the last 2 weeks, so it's a little hard for me to keep up with. Good morning Edith. Hi Anne. Good morning Robin. Good morning Val. You are right. Illithia does really seem to enjoy this new enclosure. This is always her favorite spot, even though she has this huge platform she could lay under or on. She has multiple dens this way, but for some reason, just like in her last enclosure, this is her favorite spot. Hey, honey. Good morning, Shannon. We have just seen breakfast served to all of the cats, so we've got lots of full bellies. It's gonna get warm fast today, so we're gonna see lots of sleepy cats, I'm sure, but thank you for sharing, Melissa. Morning, Crystal. Thank you guys for joining me on this Sunday morning. Definitely make sure that you keep on sharing. We've got about 300 viewers, which is fantastic. Austin, I'm not totally sure which serval will be coming to Outback next. We're gonna walk down or I guess I'll drive down a little bit further. Check in with Zucari, who is on the very other end of Outback right now. Besides that, I don't know. They had talked about Hutch being the next one to come out, but then they moved Zucari instead. So your guess is as good as mine. It could be any one of the servals, because to my current understanding, every single serval, including Dez, will be making his way out here. Originally it was just whichever ones were the easiest to catch would come out first, but I don't know if they're gonna do a boy-girl situation or how that's gonna go. Because all of these enclosures, you can see that there's already smaller dens placed in all of them. There are smaller coolaroos, smaller toys. Still some big toys left as well, but let's see. So they're all getting ready to bring more and more of them out here. Let's see, he was over here earlier. He's a little freaked out by Jasmine, because Jasmine's kind of a stalker neighbor, and she can be pretty intimidating, so I know they had to shift her away from him last week for about a day, and then he seemed okay again. I've not gotten a chance to come out and see where he likes to hang, so we'll see. Where's Zukari? Cute. You know, he's been hanging out on top of his tree stump. Ooh, it's getting windier and windier. I know he's been hanging out near and under his platform. At one point in time, he was ripping the ferns out of the top of his den that he just planted. You can see there, they transplanted a bunch to kind of spruce up the foliage out here, but he decided he'd rather rip them out. So I don't know where he is. Maybe I missed him before he turns in after breakfast. Is there a Zukari home? Is there a Zukari under there? Yes. Nope. Probably hiding in plain sight. He really was right by the stump when I went by earlier. Let's see. Maybe he's still there somewhere. Or he's just gonna be like, what is this lady doing? And then he'll at least come out and show himself. I don't know. He just might be in his big den now. Nope, I missed him. Keep waiting for like a pile of leaves to move, and then that's Zukari. That's how good their camouflage is. Alright. Guess what? No Zukari today. He was probably mad that I passed him by to go see Illithia because he was out there. Lots of cats in the last couple of weeks, so we will just keep going. So it sounds like Gilligan is super happy to be home. He started eating right away in Walkabout. He's been pooping regularly, so hopefully that was a lesson learned, but there is no need to move him. He's very content where he is. So we finally completely destroyed her Valentine's Day enrichment, which is awesome. So I'm sure you guys have been stalking the cameras with Coda. There are 3 cameras on Coda, the lioness that was rescued last Wednesday night. And I will not be going over there on camera because we are keeping things very calm and quiet. She is taking her time settling in. I will not say she's super happy right now. She's doing a lot of aggressive barking and charging of Afton. She did finally eat a decent amount of food overnight last night. She just left it in her lockout and left for the night, and she ate. So I think this morning she took a couple of pieces off the tongs from Afton without attacking her, which is the first time since arrival that she has done that. So we are not trying to overcrowd her or get her in a tizzy for any reason, because we want her to settle in and start her own routine. There's a Manny. Manny didn't move, but he's too handsome not to stop for a second. So it might be quite a while before you see me doing lives with Coda, because I need to establish a relationship with her. You can't just walk up to any animal willy-nilly and stick a camera in their face and think they're going to be okay with it. even you guys know, some of the cats that I've known here for over 7 years still don't appreciate that. So I'm certainly not going to do that to a brand new rescue that just needs time to adjust and settle in. So there's really nothing for you guys to know other than you can watch her at bigcatcams.com. She has a feeding lockout camera, she has a nest camera, and then of course the Explore camera. Mr. Manny. Guys, remember we moved Moses and Bailey. They are hard ones for me to see normally anyway. So in a new enclosure, I'm not totally sure. Hi, Jinxie. Not totally sure where they've decided that they like to hang out. I'm sure it was a big adjustment for Bailey, who absolutely loved being in those overhead tunnels, but it just wasn't safe for Moses anymore. So we'll see where she's been hanging out. Not in there. Not in there. Okay. We've been trying really hard to make sure that even though we've had lesser and lesser cats over the years, we've been trying to expand their enclosures to the fullest possible and add as much enrichment in them as possible. Oh, hi Moses. How are you settling in, bud? Here's a Moses. But as soon as they start aging the way that they do, a lot of our cats here live into their early 20s, and as soon as they're up there in that type of age, if you times their age by 6, that's roughly what they would be in human years, so very elderly, and we have to really take into account all the things that they need in that stage of their life. So for Mr. Moses, it was no more super tall, steep ramps and things like that. He's in his early 20s. So handsome. Look at those blue eyes. Look at those blue eyes. So handsome. So obviously too, we're in a brand new month. So if you guys are looking for cats to sponsor, I know Coda does not have a sponsor yet. Sponsorship kit yet, I should say. And that is because, again, we're letting her adjust before we go sticking a bunch of cameras in her face. So Jamie always takes the photos that will be part of the sponsor kits. So whenever everybody's settled in enough, are we just getting cozy? Where's Bales? Where does Bale hang out? So it's a brand new month, and you guys can absolutely sponsor any of the cats here. Again, minus Coda at the moment. We'll definitely let you guys know when that's ready. You can do that at bigcatrescue.biz. And then you'll get entered into March's drawing. And we just got the new list of the least sponsored cats after last month. If Deb is able to put those names somewhere in the comments for you guys. definitely all of our rehab bobcats are still on that list. Oh, Bailey just gave away her location. You guys see a little tail flick over there? That's Bailey. I wasn't gonna be able to get a good view of her anyway, so now we can just see her little rattlesnake tail. So bigcatrescue.biz, you can sponsor any of the rehab bobcats or any of our permanent residents. It helps with their ongoing care. You can do it monthly. If you do the really big sponsorship kits for a year, any way you guys want to do it. I know a lot of you guys are trying to sponsor every single cat by the end of the year, which is amazing. Val definitely needs more sponsors. She definitely needs more financial support. She's doing really well after just one surgery. I know there's going to be future surgeries, most likely for dental and for her eyes. So hopefully, as far as the rest of her body goes, she'll be okay. But she was already primarily only walking on 3 legs. So when we amputated the front left leg last Monday, didn't seem to slow her down too much. We're keeping pain management going, and she's still eating really well, so. Mr. Moses. So Moses and Bailey is definitely hidden in the background, but there she is. Ginger. Oh, there she is. I wonder if she'll stay there. It's alright. You gotta let them see your pretty face. You got to. There's Miss Ginger. So thank you guys for helping each other out in the comments, especially when I'm on the search for a cat. You really gotta keep your eyes open. We keep their enclosures as natural as possible, so there's a lot of foliage and lots of hiding spots. So Ginger's an African Serval. We started out with Illithia, who's an African Serval. We searched for Sugari, did not see him. We went by Manny Jaguar. We just saw Moses and Bailey Bobcat, and now we're here with Ginger Serval. Pretty much all of the cats here at Big Cat Rescue were either privately owned, used as pets, props, entertainment. Potentially we're going to be used for fur. Actually how Big Cat Rescue got started. Most of the Servals you see, they were all either used as breeders for the pet industry or were pets themselves. That long leg is a very good long hairbrush. And we've been discussing our rehab bobcats. We have a really extensive rehab and release program here for native species, and that includes the bobcats. We have 7 bobcats right now, all in the rehab program. Val was the newest one, came in the day before Valentine's Day, the day of Super Bowl Sunday. She'd been hit by a car, we believe now, at least twice. Most likely got hit on both sides. She had been healing really, really well on some aspects, but her front left leg was completely mangled, and the way it healed, there was absolutely no way for Dr. Borstein to reconstruct it. He took a really close look at it before surgery and making a decision last week, and it was determined that there was just too much damage to undo, and that ultimately he could have tried to reconstruct it and fix it up that way, but in the long run he probably still would have ended up amputating it. So why not just go ahead with the kindest decision at that point? So that is what took place last Monday. I mean, a typical rehab bobcat costs us about $6,500 for about their 6 months of rehab, and that's assuming that they're just kind of a normal cat. Food and medical care, but nothing crazy. But when you start throwing in all these extensive surgeries, and it can be very, very pricey. And every single one we've had this year has been that way. Almost none of them were simple. I think we've had 2 simple ones. Ginger, this is like the most time we've ever had together. This is like the most time we've ever had together. She's like, okay, bye. And we're done. All right, we're going. Let's head over towards Gilligan, check in with him now that he's back home. I haven't heard any kind of plans for this week, so I know that there were a couple cats that potentially might be getting vet exams. I know we're still obviously in the process of moving Servals and Tigers. I believe this Thursday is technically moving cat day, meaning we switch out Jinx from Funcation and Jasmine from vacation rotation, but I think that there's maybe other things that might be happening on Thursday, so I don't fully know what this agenda for the week is going to be. As per usual, I'm probably going to find out as it's happening. I had very little notice that we were getting Coda, and since that was my very first rescue ever, to be totally honest, the rest of the week just disappeared in my brain, because I was like, we're doing what now? And it's a what? It's a lion? Criminy. So, let's see where this movie might be. Here he is, his usual spot. Here's my boy. So I have a feeling that this week will be just as busy, and we'll all just roll with it. Hi, Gil. Can we say hi really quick? Hi, good boy. Hi, mister. Here's Gilligan. Gilligan, our Canada Lynx. Yeah, native Florida species is what we rehab and release. So over the years we have released many bobcats. Unfortunately, we've never had the opportunity for panthers. We would love that opportunity, but they always seem to be taken to other facilities for some reason. We've got the space and we've got the know-how, but just haven't been able to do it yet. We've also done things like squirrels and birds and flying squirrels. Right? What a good boy. What a good boy. Yep. Right next to his rock pile with his AC. Of course, he's been home for a week and he's not gone up into the AC den once, but still, at least it's here. It's an option if he decides. You're just gonna not look at me? Still haven't heard him hooing. Still no hooing, right, sir? A little sassy butt. I actually haven't heard Gilligan hoo since before he went on funcation months ago. So, don't know what's up with that. Unless he does it in the middle of the night, but even everybody who lives on property has not heard it. He's gonna be so mad because I'm gonna walk that way because I was gonna show Frankie as well. Technically, Frankie had inherited this whole front section that Gilligan has, along with his back section that he already had. I believe what will be happening is once they move some more of the Servals to Outback, they will be moving Frankie down nearer to Moses and Bailey. And then Gilligan will be opened up the same way Frankie was, and we'll have the whole space. So he'll have AC dens on the front and the back. Hi, kiddo. Hi, kiddo. Here's my Frankie. Here's my Frankie Bob. Ooh. Hi, cutie. Wow. Wow. Doing a lot of talking. Gotta get some water. Frankie Bobcat. So you've heard me talk a lot about our Rehab Bobcat program, but not all Bobcats can be set free, unfortunately. Sometimes it's for medical reasons, sometimes it's because before they were ever taken to a rehab facility, they were far too habituated to humans. They rely on humans for food, and that would make it very dangerous to set one free that would just walk right up to a person and scream at them for food. So it would definitely get them killed. What? I hear ya. I guess we'll let him get his drink and we'll come see the Mr. Needy. Mr. Needy Mousers. Hi, Bubba. How have you been doing? I know, your mama went and got really distracted by a lion. I bet she hasn't even had time to come see you. Thank goodness you've got like 40 other keepers now, right? Right? My goodness. This is Mouser. Mouser's a hybrid Savannah cat. He looks a little domestic, but also a little serval-y. And he acts very serval-y. He's also very destructive. You are probably the messiest cat on property. Messiest cat on the whole property. How have you been doing, buddy? You are so handsome. You look so handsome out here. You looks so very handsome out here. There we go. So this is how Frankie ended up being a grooming cat for me. He likes to lay on the side like this, and it makes it very easy to use the long retractable scratcher. Yes, we're doing very good. We're a very good scratch cat right now. Very good scratch cat right now. Such a good boy. Such a very good boy. My goodness. I'm actually going to be training a new senior keeper in grooming today, and my hopes is to assign her to Miss Lovey. So that's always exciting. You better put that tail back in on your side. Put that tail back in on your side. Yes, you better. You better, sir. Very silly face. Buddy. What a good boy. I think he seems pretty content to be back in this section as well. You like having Gilligan back? It might be nice as well. Do you like having Gilly? Sure, Debbie. I could definitely talk about the grooming program. So the grooming program here at Big Cat Rescue was established by Jamie, the Big Cat Rescue president, and she handed it over to me in 2020 just because I had started spending a lot more time building rapport with different cats, because a lot of our older cats that had started the grooming program had since passed away. So in the last 2 years, I've gotten about 7 cats that will tolerate and somewhat enjoy the grooming program. We use long metal retractable scratchers that have sort of a hand or like little claw type device on the end of them. I think one of the brands you can find out there are called Bear Claws. and they've got like a rubber handle, and then they extend out several feet. And originally the program was only ever for cats that were fully declawed, and that is because the older they get, the more arthritis they get. Without the claws, they're unable to dislodge matted fur that they usually get around their heads and face and neck and down their back and things like that. Luckily, we're actually seeing that more and more of the rescues that have come in the last handful of years have not been declawed. Some have, some haven't. But it used to be elderly declawed cats. A lot of those have passed away, so in order to keep the program going, I have started experimenting with some of the calmer middle-aged cats. Some have claws, some don't. But what we do is we give the class. You're making some really weird noises. We give the class to keepers, and then we assign them specific cats to try to work with so that they can help cut down the amount of matted fur and grooming issues that would end up taking them into the hospital. If you guys ever remember Ryza Cougar, or even Running Bear is a good example, those cats just 100% will not allow you to groom them. So unfortunately, every handful of months, they actually have to go in and be sedated so that we can groom them. So that has been my mission recently, to find more and more cats that we can get used to it at a younger age, so that in their older age, we won't have to worry so much about it. So right now we can groom Mouser and Frankie and Beecher and King Tut, Cricket Serval, Zucari. Some people can do Illithia, but not everyone. One person's been able to do Des, but not everyone. I can groom Cyrus and Hutch. So there's quite a few now. Unfortunately, Chaos really doesn't allow anybody to do it very consistently, nor does Loki, so we're always trying to keep an eye on them. Same with Lovey. That's why we want to try to assign the new keeper today that I'm giving the class to Lovey. It really matters about the relationship you have with the cat. The cat has to accept and choose you to be allowed to do it. Because just because I can groom somebody doesn't mean somebody else can groom that cat, and vice versa. I cannot groom Loki or Chaos or Running Bear. So it's all about finding the right person for the job. And I know that because with one of our interns, she had told me that she had like this really unique relationship with Des, which nobody else does, where anytime she walks up to him, he walks right over to the side, he lays down on the side, and he shows his belly. And I'm like, well, he's never done that to anybody I've ever seen. And sure enough, in 2 sessions, she was able to groom him. So it really just depends on the cat and what the cat wants. Now, another exception to that rule, though, is I have an insanely good relationship with Smalls. She will eat for me when she won't eat for anyone else. She will come to me when she won't come to anyone else. And yet I tried to use the retractable scratcher on her one time, and she was vicious. She is not a grooming cat, let's just put it that way. Hi, honey. She's up in her tree. Hi, sweet girl. You want to come down and say hi? Hi, Puddins. Hi, Miss Lady. So this is Smalls, not a grooming cat. She's also not declawed, so she technically doesn't super need it. But even fully clawed cats can sometimes have struggles grooming in their later age, which is why we decided to open the program up to a lot of different cats, whether they've got claws or not. But you have to go through a lot of training, and it's a lot of patience. sometimes it's just bringing them enrichment every single time you're on property, and it could be months before you ever actually use the scratcher on them. So and I know everyone's dying to hear some full-blown story about Coda, but to be totally honest, there's not much more to tell you than what we've already told you guys. You know, there's not a lot of details in rescues generally. We're lucky that we know that she turned roughly about 4 years old this past January, which I cracked up. I was like, another January birthday? Oh, dang. But other than that, I mean, she was confiscated by law enforcement. We were there to aid and assist in that whole sedation and transportation, and we are going to care for her for the best of our abilities. And at this point in time, that's really all the info that we have to give you guys. So I know you want to hear some epic rescue story, but I almost to a certain extent feel like she might be a similar case to Kali, where they say when Kali came in, you know, that she was a little bit sad and stressed because she didn't have like the most horrible, you know, home. But I can definitely tell that there's some inbreeding in her past and things like that. She was, you know, we were here in Florida. We never left the state, so it was a couple hours away, so several hours to and from. Where'd you go, lady? Small girl. And the only other thing that I've already mentioned several times is we know that she was the last of 3 cats that survived, and we were able to rescue her, and that's why Jamie named her Coda, because in African that means the last one. Hi! Hi, Petey. Petey, Petey. Petey, Petey. Have you been sending good vibes over to the other side of the sanctuary? I know. When I found out that we were going on a rescue, this is the only little face that I told. I had to tell her it would be okay, that we were getting a new friend to take care of. And it's gonna take Coda some time. I mean, no matter whether you're in a good or bad situation, when the life you have is the only one you've ever known, change can be really difficult. So even with the best snacks and the best of the best and all the space in the world, she's still gonna go through a pretty big transition period, so. Alright guys, well I think I'm gonna wrap up my live here today. And if you missed any of this, there was all kinds of random updates and things that we talked about. We checked in with pretty much all the cats that we moved in the last couple of weeks. And again, you can watch all the live cameras at bigcatcams.com. You can find Coda's new bio and all of the cat bios, bigcatrescue.org/catbio. Please make sure you rewatch this live. You can do that right here on Facebook. It'll post automatically. I will share it to my Big Cat Rescue public page, and it's also going to show up at dailybigcat.com. I saw Lisa here today, so I believe that there should be a singing Sunday around 2 o'clock today. And just a huge, huge thank you to anybody who donated today or is sponsoring any of the cats in a new month of March. I really appreciate that. We're gonna get a drink of water and go back to our nap. And hopefully it'll at least be somewhat of a normal week as far as morning walkabouts and various lives as anything interesting takes place. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, a beautiful start to a new week, and I will see you guys again soon.